So the first thing you want to look at is this difference between an engineer and a scientist. This is probably the most common difference you would see in the different job titles. Now, if it's an engineer role, let's say an ML engineer or a data engineer, as an engineer, you are expected to like build and maintain existing systems. So when I started at Google, I was given a big system to build and maintain. This was training deep learning models for Google Maps. So this is very common. You may have to maintain some existing systems, which means that you would have to do bug fixes. You would have to like add features into that system. That will be one part of your responsibility if you are taking an engineer based job title. Of course, the second thing is you're going to solve like high value problems using AI ML. This is something which is going to be pretty common, irrespective of like any job title you take. This is very important. And then as an engineer, you're also going to apply state of the art machine learning solutions. So kind of understanding what are the most popular algorithms right now in the field of machine learning, and then applying it to solve problems in your domain, in your company. These are all the typical things which an engineer would have to do. Now, if you're taking a scientist role, like maybe a research scientist or an applied research scientist, that would mean that one of the important components of your job would be to do research to extend the state of the art. So as an engineer, you may be like using the state of the art, but if you are taking a scientist role, you're also expected to like kind of extend the state of the art and then come up with new algorithms to solve the problem. Often, scientists also would write research papers. This kind of depends on the company too. Like for example, in Apple, we weren't spending a lot of time on writing papers, whereas this was very common, like in Google and Amazon. Also, in general, the scientists are expected to like solve harder problems. So these are typically problems for which there isn't a clear solution available today, and then you are expected to like experiment and then come up with like new solutions. And typically, scientists would also typically in many places you are expected to have a PhD as well.